Welcome. Welcome to the channel. I'm Joey. This is Ziggy. He's with me every single day while we're here. And wanted to make sure we got to, talk. You liking the rebrand, Artur? You liking that, brother? You liking that? You liking that? That's a big up to RSM in the cut. He's the man. I appreciate that. I appreciate RSM, bro. RSM's the man. So big up to RSM. Once we get some more people in here and we're talking, I'm gonna send this link out. We're going to be, the tin hat boys. The tin hats out. Tin hats. Get the tin hats out, my boys. Cause sheesh. That news this morning. I didn't even get to do it yet. I didn't even get to do the thing yet. Well, let me do the thing. I totally forgot. Thanks for reminding me, bro. I totally forgot. Welcome. That shit's so cold. That shit is mad cold, bro. I didn't get you hit you with the loop this time. That's just me this time, though. That's just me. All right, let's bring up the news for the day, boys. Like this is when I started this YouTube. I had this idea. I wanted to start the idea. I wanted to start the idea with a theory and a take. Okay. CNAC, my boy CNAC is the reason I have that video, actually. Well, Prime gave me the video, but CNAC's the reason why I actually have the video in here. But the reason why I started this YouTube, because I was tired of waiting to see, like, put my take out there. Okay. I was just tired of it. Waiting to go on somebody else's video, waiting to say what I want to say, waiting to be invited to a show, waiting for all this to happen, right? Like just waiting, right? Like I wanted to put my voice out there, right? That was the whole idea, right? So I went and I made a bold take right after Fabrizio Romano went out and told us that we were not going to go for Victor Osimhen. I went out and I made a bold take about how we were going to end up doing a swap deal for Victor, and there was no other suitors for Victor, and we were going to end up being the only ones that could afford him, and or other scenarios. And you guys have heard me over the last 2 months, pretty much since I started this channel, really, like since I really took it off. Yeah, you guys know that I did this. I did this in sense of I'm going to do this with more of a thought than just saying I think this is going to happen. Like you guys know how I put thought into the way that I made this theory. I've gave you guys like things that would happen in order of the way that they happen, and so far I have been pretty much spot on all of this. And this is just reading into journalism beyond the journalism. It's nothing more than that in the end. And like I do believe that eventually this deal is going to end up being what happens. I just think that PSG need to make a sale and to get this really going. And Victor doesn't want to go to Saudi. And I've been saying Victor doesn't want to go to Saudi for a while now. Prime really put that in my head that he wants to stay in Europe. And for the most part, he's been right, really. Let me bring up some news. So something that Ahmed said that is really actually awesome to think about is we won't be getting Jacob Steinberg anymore. You guys like this overlay? You liking the overlay now? Like brand new overlay. We got the logo up in the top. That's the logo for now. Okay, we're still working on the logo. I want it to be more like VW looking. You know, that's the idea. But anyways, once again, Victor Osimhen swap plus money, or Romelu Lukaku plus money for Victor Osimhen swap is really on the books here. I wanted to pull up just some numbers for everybody, just so they could see why I don't believe the wages for this deal is going to be an issue. Let's pull up my favorite website, Capology. Because you guys know I'm football. I like to do football accounting for no reason. And I try to put it in a sense of accounting that you guys can at least digest. All right. So, as you can see here, Napoli, the thing is Napoli are going to want to get Victor's wages off the books too. I think they're going to end up giving Lukaku probably 180. If you want the number that I expect them to give Lukaku, I probably think they give Lukaku about 180. And Victor's on 246 right now, 250 right now. I do believe he would have to take a pay cut to come to Chelsea. I think he would have to probably take somewhere around 40,000 pay cut. But if he makes Europe, he would end up making probably around 270 to 280. And as you can see, this is 12 million, almost 13 million annually. PSG gave him 14 million annually, just over 14 million annually as a deal. So the problem with it is there's a lot of I think that the incentives, the goal incentives, and you giving him the pay raise on the European getting into Europe is going to end up being where this deal kind of ends up being, where he could make around 300K if we're in a European competition. Now, I want to just pull up our wage structure because I want to show you how this deal ends up working out. So, if you're telling me we give Victor, let's just say 200, let's say 200 or 220, right? That would knock off about 100K off the wage books just right here. You'd still be under Reece James. You'd be on Ben Chilwell is making 200K a week. Wesley Fofana is making 200K a week. And then if you were to sell, Malang Sarr's gone. And where is he? Isn't he like 50K? No, he might be less than that, to be honest. And you'd be able to get, Cassidy is no wages. He is making nothing in wages. You send Cassidy with Lukaku over there. That's still, you're still talking about 100,000 a week that you're saving on that. That's been my biggest point, Lucas. I am a big fan of Victor, to be honest, Lucas. I actually am. I think the last year, and I think you're right. I think his success is predicated on the service that we could provide him. Yeah, I know. I have a whole video on that. If you want to go back and look at my videos, I have a whole entire video on Marquinhos at 100K a week. But I've been told that that has not been actually confirmed either. So, and I do think we're gonna get him. Honestly, I do. I really do. I think we're gonna end up getting him. Yeah, I know. Like this deal has to be done in a smart way, and we're gonna be the ones that come up with the deal in the end. JK, I think that like you have to look. I want everyone to go back and look at. I want everyone to go back and look at that Douglas Luiz deal. And I believe that it's going to be something similar to that Douglas Luiz deal, except we pay probably somewhere around 80 million for that in that deal, and they spend, minimum prices on these guys, right? Where Juventus sent 2 players to Villa, they gave them a 50 million number. Villa spent I think it was like 8 million on Barencha, and then but it works for all of us because we need to get players off the books. If you're talking Cassidy, we're talking Lukaku, these are dead weight. So you get 2 off the books and you get 1. In the end, it helps us in the end because we're getting wages off the books regardless. Our biggest earner is getting off the books. We're getting a striker that we've been wanting as a club for a while now. And you're getting rid of a striker who didn't want to be here for a striker who does. Okay? In the end, I think this happens. I really do. I think this happens. I'm going to send the link out to my regulars from the Lewis streams. If you are interested in getting into the stream later, I'm gonna do like a little bit of a get your say type of thing. So you guys can jump on and have your say. If you want to debate me as well, you're more than welcome to, because I know there's one person that's waiting for that opportunity. I mean, we're getting ripped off in what way, EE? Because I believe if we get Victor for 80 and we sell Lukaku for around 30 and you sell Cassidy for whatever we bought him for, I think it was 15, big up the Bridge Nation. The Bridge Nation. 1 second. We got a video for you, the Bridge Nation. We got a video for you. Welcome. Bit Bridge Nation, welcome. Appreciate you, Ahmed. As always, while you're here, please subscribe to the channel. We're like 15. I think we're like 15 away, maybe from 300. If we could get the closer to 300 we can get, the better. We're shooting for 1,000. Oh, we're 9 away from 300. 9 away from 300, bro. Yeah. So all right, let's just do some accounting real quick, right? Yeah, I don't think that's getting slammed though. I wouldn't say that's getting slammed. Like, I wouldn't say that's getting slammed though. Like, we're getting Lukaku. We're buying Osimhen for 80, right? And you sell Lukaku for 30. And you sell Cassidy for 15. So that's getting slammed on this deal because we're giving them a discount for Lukaku. Let's even say this was 90 million. let's just say this was 90 million. So just add 10 to it. Solomon, I would say that, except they just bought two center backs just recently. Like their first two buys of the window were two center backs. So, unfortunately, Jesus. All right, I think that's 15 minutes on Victor is probably enough. We probably went into it just enough. I don't want to get into it too much. I mean, shit, like I said, bro, yeah, once I put the numbers in front of people, bro, you guys, bro, once I put these numbers in front of people, though, it's like, what do you have to say about it? Okay? But still, even if it is plus this, right, you're still talking about, okay, giving him, let's just say you give him exactly what he got at PSG, which was 14 million a year. Okay. Then you give the agents their 10 million that they said they wanted. At 90 million, this is at 90 million. That's what the full package would be after getting rid of Lukaku and Cassidy. Selling, and that's at the minimums. I'm talking with those two, probably the minimums, because you're probably not selling Cassidy for less than 20 to 25 back to Italy, and you selling them at 15. Yep. That's it right here. That's the stumbling block. That's been the stumbling block that I've been trying to talk to you guys about since I started this channel. This has been the stumbling block. Exactly. So we're going to end up paying 80 to 90 for them and then selling each player in separate deals. That's how these swaps work. That's really how these swaps work in the end. It's not really anything else. It's just because the way that the accounting works for it, if you do it like straight swaps, it doesn't really add up correctly for some reason. So he probably has, Jonathan, he probably got homies. You know how it is. He probably got homies, bro. He probably got homies. Got somebody from his home country that's being his agent, you know? Someone from his home country and one of his friends. Probably my guess. Agent and manager. Both want to get paid on this deal. I mean, fuck. They paid a good amount of money to Erling Haaland's dad when Man City wanted Haaland. Like I said, this shit ain't new, bro. Like this is not new shit that's happening. This is all normal things, you know? This is all normal things. Like we're not out here really making like random things out of thin blue air. We're talking football from knowledge that we've gotten from journalism. Like that's what I do on this channel. I don't talk from just anything random. I'll tell you when it's a bad take. I'll tell you when I have bad takes because I know, bro. That's, bro. I think like that's in the end. I feel like this was inevitable. I've been saying this for a while, but I felt like this has been inevitable. Like you know, and we've dealt with this before. It's the other thing, right? With Caicedo, we've dealt with this. And I wish that the big thing that you notice is that like these fees that are like these fees add up really quickly. Like when you put it all together, like if we didn't subtract the 45 million, an $80 million deal or a $90 million deal turns into, a big deal. Like this is a huge number in the end. Like this is a huge number. Like, and of course the ownership group aren't gonna do something like that. But as of this moment, the ball's the ball's in Napoli's court, bro. Ball's in Napoli's court. I believe if Napoli says to us, give us 90 million in Lukaku, and we'll make it a deal. You know what I'm saying? This deal's done. They'll ask us to throw Cassidy in one way or another, maybe on a loan with an obligation to buy. You know, we'll get the money a bit later, but who cares type situation. Bro, this guy's not even on the bench for Conte right now. Not even on the bench. Not even on the bench. What did I say about my theory from the beginning? The theory was you don't get a coach like Antonio Conte and not appease him. The absolute very first press conference that Antonio Conte has, who does he talk about? Romelu Lukaku. You don't get that guy mad, especially first window. And if you tell Antonio Conte this is how much money you have, if you tell him this is how much money you have after selling Antonio Conte and you're getting your striker, he'll be like, all right. He only needs like 2 more players, 3 more players after that, especially if they get Cassidy. So if they get Cassidy, they probably need maybe 1 winger and then 2 more fullbacks outside of getting Spinazzola for free, because Spinazzola is on a free right now. He's a left back that's on a free right now out there. So he'll get Spinazzola on a free, and he'll get another 2 more fullbacks and a winger after getting this Lukaku whole situation done. And they'll have what was the number in the end? The number was 45, 50 million to do so. That's chump change. JK, I could send it to you directly, but I did send the link out. Nobody has came through yet. I did send the link out. Let me send it to Melon and the guys that that are not in a group chat with me. Like, I'm gonna send one to Link, who's a Liverpool fan, who I'd love to talk to about this, to be honest. I like other fans' opinions about this too. I'd love other fans to come on and talk to me about what they think about our club, and I can give them honest opinions about their club, because I'm very honest about what's going on. You know, like I don't normally like talk shit unless I really, really have to. Really, really have to. Arsenal fans, I normally just talk shit just because it's fun. But JK, where are you, JK? JK, send me a message real quick, cause there you are. All right, cool. Yeah, you know what? I don't know how much it's a little bit like that. Lucas Costa, it's a little bit like that. Nah, I don't mind. I don't mind Hussam either. Like, me and Hussam had issues in the beginning, but like I was being a little bit like whack about shit too for a while. I was being real whack about shit, to be honest. And like I apologize. Me and him are cool now. But Lucas Costa, let me ask you something. And Lucas Costa, you know, I want you to come on my channel because I like your football knowledge. Do you think that Diogo Costa Victor Osimhen could be like a Diogo Costa? Or do you think he's not technical enough to be like Diogo Costa? That was the question that I have. Osimhen's main agent is Roberto Calenda, who has 3 clients, and one of them is Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen is his main client, so he probably wants an agent fee. That makes a hell of a lot of sense. That makes a hell of a lot of sense. My boy, they called us mad, my man. They called us mad.
He's coming home. Football may not have came home, but my boy's coming home.
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. I do believe this one's gonna end up happening, like we've predicted for a while. We thought this was gonna be the case, and now we'll probably get both him and a winger. We told you so about 2 months ago, though. Now about 6 weeks ago at this point.
But the thing is, I thought it'd either be Victor or a winger. The fact that we can get both is amazing. Listen, the way we've played this Victor situation with Napoli, people don't give us credit, but it's a masterclass. The fact that we've had the ball in our court the whole time and De Laurentiis has not realized that is phenomenal. I'll be so real. Even the PSG stuff, Joey was a little skeptical. I was like, PSG are not going to buy him. No one else came in. The ball's in our court. They have to lower down the price. Lukaku wants to go only to Napoli. The deal makes too much sense not to get done.
But now, Prime, here's the thing, right? They can get Lukaku for the price they want.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's been holding this whole thing back. Is like before, we weren't willing to give them Lukaku for the price they want. Because they weren't willing to give us Victor for the price that we want him for. Right? So now, ADL, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, ADL? Like, these guys are beating you at your game at this current moment, ADL. I'm being honest with it. They are our ownership group is beating one of the best negotiators in Europe at his own game. At his own fucking game. He's beating them at his own game, and he has nowhere to run now. There's nothing for him left to do. He has nothing left to do other than negotiate with us. He has no other card in his hand. He thought PSG could do it. He thought Saudi could do it. And now here we are back again. Back again. Like troops. Frederick, you want the link? You send me a message on Twitter. I'm not putting the link in the chat.
Bro, and the fact of like when we were linked to Samu Omorodion, we were into all these other strikers, quote unquote. I kept telling people, like, it doesn't make sense. We're linked with Victor for a year.
Here's the thing, Prime. We haven't been linked with that many strikers.
I know, I know. But I'm talking about the Fugazi paper talk is what I mean. Like, it doesn't make sense for us to. We know what Victor wants. We know what the price is. We know what his wages are. It doesn't make sense to be linked with him for a year, and all of a sudden we say no now. That doesn't make sense to me. So, yeah, listen, he's coming home. Will he wear the 9? Will he wear the 9? The big question.
I think probably. I think it's more. I don't think there's any question he ends up with the 9. To be honest, if he comes, he gets the 9. I don't think there's a question about it in my team, in my mind actually, that he gets the 9 if he comes. And Omorodion, Duran. That's the other one. So it's been really Duran, Omorodion. Who else have we been linked with? Prime.
That's
Who
about
else
it. That's about it. We signed Mark Hewitt, but he's 18. He's 18.
Big up, Billy.
Right. So.
Oh, but Jonathan David was like, everyone's been linked with Jonathan David one time.
Jonathan David wasn't like real concrete. It was just like, you know. Yeah, listen, we played our cards well. I love it. We played our cards brilliantly. I love this, man. We play. Listen, credit to like the old. If this was the old regime with Marina, we either would have ended up paying over 100 more for Victor, or we would have bought someone else by now. We played this brilliantly. I love it. Masterclass.
I mean, I've been saying it for a while, though. I've been saying it for a while that like that when it comes to negotiating, I don't think that this ownership, like this sporting director and ownership group, are dumb. Like that's the last thing I think they are.
Bro,
I
ADL
think
is one of
they're questionable about who they select in certain places, that sporting directors specifically, but like I don't think they're dumb when it comes to negotiations.
Joey. The ADL is one of the toughest people in world football to negotiate with.
No, bro, we've gone through Rui Costa, Brighton twice, and now ADL. It's like we've gone through the gauntlet. There is nobody else we could go through. The next one is freaking Perez if we go for a Rodrigo next year. Like that's it. Like Perez is the final boss, bro. You don't after you like when it comes to the negotiations, bro. We went through the gauntlet. We went through freaking Hell's Chamber. Okay,
I don't think we can get. I don't think we can. I don't think we can outclass Perez. He's a different animal. I'll be sorry. He's different.
So I know he's a different animal. I understand that. But the gauntlet, right? The gauntlet's like Brighton twice. Fucking Rui Costa. Now ADL. The only man that's left is Perez. That's the only man's left.
Yeah, bro. I'm so happy. So happy.
I believe this is what I've been believing with Samu this entire time, that he's just the alternative to Victor if we can't get Victor. That's what I believe this entire time.
I mean, even cheaper.
And I do want to make sure with Samu, everybody understands something, right? Right now, Samu Omorodion is not for fucking sale. Okay? I want people to understand that. He is not for fucking sale. All right? He's not. He's not for sale. Atletico Madrid have one striker, one true striker on the team. Everyone else is inside forward or fucking whatever you want to fucking call Griezmann. Like one striker on the team, and they like to play with two strikers.
Yeah, I mean
Griezmann and whoever, Morata, someone like the inside forward and Omorodion. Now, I did see that they were linked with Sorloth from Sociedad. Okay, I did see someone tell me that they were linked with Sorloth.
Didn't they just buy Dubvik? Or they're going to buy Dubvik?
Dubvik's going to Roma. Hijacked. Then De Rossi hijacked it from him.
Oh, wow.
De Rossi made the call and hijacked it from him. I'm being dead ass. I'm not even joking. Like that's exactly
why would he go Roma?
Roma's building something, bro. Roma's building something. I know,
but like I'd rather play for Simeone.
I don't know.
If I look at how
I think Dubvik 30 goals next year.
He would, because he's kind of like
he's the perfect Serie A striker.
Like a Vlahovic, like a Lukaku.
Yep.
He's that type, but still
perfect Serie A striker.
If I look at how Simeone has handled strikers since he's been at Atletico, it just makes sense.
I mean, hell, maybe he just wanted a new challenge to get out of Spain.
Yeah.
Maybe it leaves his legacy at Girona kind of like, he went to Italy instead of going to Spain, you know?
Also, I kind of disagree that Samu would be cheaper. Like, for how much they were asking us to buy him.
I don't think he'd be that much cheaper, to be honest, bro.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, if he's...
I'm going to be honest.
It's going
to be at minimum 70. And I don't even believe it would take... I think it might take more than that. Like, I'll bring up... Bro, look at this. This is the craziest shit, bro. I bring up this shit.
That's my point with him. If he's going to cost like 70, 80, 90 mil, you might as well at that point just go get Victor. So that's been my... And I've been saying this when we've been linked to Samu all along. If he's going to cost that much, Victor is just a better option anyway. I
agree. And here's I could prove it to you why it would be that around that number, and if not more. Let me pull up his his. Here it is. I could prove that shit to you. And Atletico Madrid want to give him another contract. Also, they want to give him another contract. Look at that number right there, baby. You think that number, they're going to drop from that number when they only have one striker at this current moment? How much do you think they'll drop from that number? Straight up. Straight up.
Bro, they've got no striker. And Simeone rates him highly. So there's no way there's no way.
And he likes being in Spain. That's the other thing. You guys got to understand Spain's a different animal, bro. Like, you're talking about, like, these are national. Ooh, that is nice. I didn't even get to see that. That's a disgusting name, but
plus he plays for Spain in the youth level. So I'm assuming he wants to play for the Spain national team. It makes sense to stay there within a year's time, like, you know, because Spain's striker options are Morata, Joselu.
Oh, he's the next one. He's next up. I mean, he'll get his chance. He'll get call-ups if he's playing for Atletico Madrid on a consistent basis. Exactly. It won't even be how well he's playing or how good or bad he's playing. He'll get call-ups. Like, that's just because he's playing for Atletico Madrid. He's playing for the Spanish club.
Yep.
That's true too, Peter Pan. But Atletico know how to fit the profile that fits Diego Simeone. That's what it is. It's not necessarily like that they're scout. They know how to fit the profile that fits Diego Simeone's style of ball. The only one that they missed on was João Felix. That's the only one they've missed on so far. Everybody else that they've ever got at striker has hit. Even Morata. Morata hit for them. Like, twice. Straight up. Morata's hit for them twice. What you saying, Prime? What you saying? What you saying this deal's going to be overall, like, number-wise, when it comes to Victor? Prime, you still there with me?
I think it'll maybe like 80 to 90 mil.
That's what I think is too. I think you're going to end up being 85 plus 10. That's what my guess is.
I don't think it'll be an exact, like, say, 80 mil plus Lukaku plus Cassidy, but I think it'll kind of amount to that roughly. I think even if it's like, say, 75 plus 75 plus a 10
Cassidy,
15, and then
it might be like 75 plus Cassidy, and then you sell them Lukaku for like 30.
Yeah, you get 75 plus say 15 in bonuses, or if you hit certain targets at Chelsea, like winning the league or whatever, Cassidy goes there on loan with an option to buy. Then they end up buying Lukaku a day later. It'll be that sort of thing. Yeah. Like I've been saying, the deal will get done like towards the last few days of the window. Probably like it'll be a big saga. I said this when the season ended. Like Chelsea.
Frederick, are you CJ? On Twitter? Are you CJ on Twitter? Yeah, I sent you the link. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you, bro. I totally agree with you. Now, I got a question for you, okay? I asked this question in Ahmed's stream. I wanted you to answer the question. You have one option for a winger at this current moment. One option, okay? You can go and buy that winger, but he has to be a realistic option that you can go and buy at this current moment. Who is the winger that you're going to go get?
Well, assuming the Victor deal's done.
Assuming Victor's done. Okay? Victor's out of the way. So you got to be realistic, right?
Okay.
And chat, the question's up to you. You get one winger. Okay, we go and we buy one winger, left or right. I don't care which one you want to pick, whatever you want. Has to be realistic. Has to be realistic though. Okay. If you say Varadona, I'm muting you.
Varadona.
Okay. If you say Varadona, I'm muting you. One realistic option.
I'm saying Chiesa.
Okay, Chiesa.
I think realistically, he won't cost. Maybe his wages might be a lot, but like I don't know what he's on. But the price tag won't be a lot.
We can look it up.
He can come in. We know his talent level. Like he's a maverick winger. We know he can beat his man.
You can play him either side.
Yeah, the only problem would be injuries. But if you bring him in for, let's see how he does. But
injury list is long.
If we can rotate him in with,
look at that.
Angelo.
That's wages right there, by the way.
Yeah, but I want Angelo to stay. So if we can rotate him in with Angelo, say.
So what, you're selling Nani Madueke in this scenario?
No, I'm keeping Nani. I think Chiesa, maybe if Sterling goes, but even if Sterling stays, I think 5 wingers might be a lot, but like I would still take Chiesa because I don't trust.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Angelo's going on loan.
I know, which is annoying, but like I would keep Angelo if it's me. I'd keep Angelo and still get Chiesa. But Angelo goes fine, get Chiesa, even if it's for a year, or not for a year, but like get Chiesa, see how he is for a year, and then next year go get a proper winger. Go get maybe a Nico Williams if he hasn't left, or Leao.
I don't think Nico Williams going anywhere, and I don't like Leao at all. By the way, but I liked Leao, but like before he got his paycheck. After he got his paycheck, he's been not the same player in my opinion. But
I still think he's. I still like Leao. I still think he's quality. But like again, there's also like maybe in a year's time, Maradona. Who knows? But then he might go.
I think he's going to PSG for sure. I think PSG are going to put all the marbles in for him next year. All the marbles.
Yeah. But my point being, there will be another winger we can get next year. A proper winger. But as for now, just go get Chiesa. Listen, Victor and Chiesa, I'm fine. I'm happy.
Victor and Chiesa, okay.
Yeah.
Let me go look at what the chat's saying.
Again, you said realistic, so like
I wanted realistic. I like the realistic.
Yeah.
I like the realistic. That's a realistic one. I mean, we did get linked with him today. I don't know how I feel about Conceição. I'm not gonna lie to you, Lucas. I love Neto. If like you've said it like 4 different times, but 15 games of Neto is like 30 games of Sterling and Mudryk.
Yeah.
One of the best lines Lucas Costa came up with in the chat. I'm not gonna lie, that's one of the best lines.
I hear it, but Neto
Jack Clark. Who does Jack Clark play for?
I don't want Diaz, no.
And Diaz. Let's look at Diaz numbers real quick. What's this asshole's first name?
Luis Diaz.
Luis. Let's see if we can find anything in the contract. Oh, goddamn. This guy's making pennies. 55,000 a week, man. That's pennies. No release clause either. But he's 27, so I doubt we would go for Luis Diaz. Matoma, yeah. Not the biggest fan. Big up.
What's good, bro? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How we doing today?
And not too bad, man. Not too bad.
What's your name, bro? What should we call you?
Freddy's cool.
Freddie?
Freddy's cool.
Freddie, nice to meet you, bro. Freddie, are you a Chelsea fan?
Of course, of course.
Okay, cool.
Of course.
So what you saying about what we've been talking about? We're talking about wingers, but you obviously know what the if you see the video title, we're talking about Victor. What's your thoughts on Victor? I'd love to know a little bit about you too and where you're from and like, you know what I'm saying? Just so I have a little bit of background on who I'm talking to.
All right. So from the States, I actually live in Jersey.
That's what's good. I'm from New York, bro.
Perfect. All right. And then I actually just started like my channel maybe like about a month ago.
Congratulations, bro. Congratulations.
Appreciate that. I think like the biggest motivator for me was like, yo, some of these rivals kill me, bro.
Right.
You know, so I was like, I need that outlet. I have to be able to like just put out my and whatnot. So
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. But when it comes to like the Osimhen deal, look, I think one of our biggest problems last year was just conversion. I think Jackson had a good season. You know, he had a good season, nothing too spectacular. But if we're trying to get into like the top four, be back in Europe, we need a number 9. That's my thing. So, like, if you can get this deal done for me and you can get Lukaku out of the club, because even when he came in, you know, we had the expectation that this guy was going to be it. Unfortunately, it's not being the situation. So for me, just add some money, get him out the club. If you could get Osimhen, like, I'll take it. Because if you look at our history from like back in the day, we've always had success with players like Osimhen. You look your Drogba's, Didier Drogba's, your Kalous, Anelkas, Costas, Giroud, even Tammy Abraham. They all have something in common. They're physical guys. You know what I mean? And they're efficient. So if you can get this deal done, go for it for me. And it's just
all right.
How much you're gonna have to pay the guy on a weekly basis, though. And with this whole wage structure thing, I think that might be the problem. But if he's really been trying to come to Chelsea, as everyone has said, then I feel like, we could be able to do something over here.
All right. Now we'll get to this question, right? Because this is what we're on right now.
Okay.
And CP, I'm going to bring up some options for other people that people don't know about. And I appreciate CP bringing up Furyk from Stuttgart, because Stuttgart's one of my teams that I watch on a consistent basis. If you guys know me, I watch a lot of Bundesliga. Between Leipzig and Stuttgart, they probably get nearly as much time as like the two of them together, as much time as Chelsea for me.
Okay.
Because I do watch a good enough of them too, those two teams, to know like how good some of these players are. Except I don't expect Furyk to go anywhere just due to the fact that he has they have Champions League this year, Stuttgart, and the manager over there. That's like how Furyk got his opportunity. So I don't know if that is like going to be a big factor. If we did end up with that manager, which I would have been probably a little bit more excited for than Maresca if we got the Stuttgart manager, just based off of how much I know about the Stuttgart manager. Like this is the type of deal that I would have expected us to do regardless if we did get him, just because that's like his son. Like that's the boy for the manager. So I really enjoy this, but I want to talk to you a little bit about. I want to ask you a question about what we're talking about right now. You have one option for a winger. It has to be realistic, a realistic winger. After getting Victor, who's the winger that you're going to get?
But what are the options on the table? That's my question. What are the
realistic?
Options?
You have. I can bring up some options the chat has brought up. Okay.
Yeah.
The chat has brought up Neto, Summer, Conceição.
Neither of them.
Prime brought up Chiesa, Somerville, Jack Clark, or Diaz.
Out of that list, I think for me, and again, most people might not really look at that in that way, but I think maybe someone like a Somerville, only because I don't really see Diaz making that move from Liverpool to Chelsea. Like, I don't even see Liverpool trying to have that kind of like business, just strengthening a rival. And then when you look at like Conceição, dude, I haven't really watched a lot of the guy, but even in the Euros, he didn't really set anything, on fire for me. Neto is always injured, and if we're trying to minimize the injuries we keep having, that's not an investment I'm willing to make. Like when you look at someone like Somerville, we saw him in the league as well with Leeds. So this ain't like someone who just came up from, the championship. They got relegated, hence them going back into the championship. But I'll take Somerville.
The reason why I mentioned Keza is because, like, we know his price tag will be cheap. Because I'm thinking in my head, get Keza as some sort of a stopgap. Let's see how he does in terms of the injuries, and next summer, go get a proper winger or maybe two proper wingers.
But then,
how much would he cost? Because Joey said realistic, so I'm using that. What they cost?
I think Somerville would be somewhere around 35 million, if you want my honest opinion.
But my only thing with Chiesa is like, so if you get Chiesa in, do you try to move him out again next year? Because Chiesa was Chiesa maybe like 4 years ago. You know what I mean? Like he's had injuries, and I understand the price point looks really good. But if we keep talking about like we're making all these, extra signings that we don't need, your Kellermans, your Wileys. For me, I know Chiesa is a name, but his time has already been, it's gone.
No, but
it's been injuries.
But he can, I know, and Joey knows what I'm like with players with injuries as well. But Chiesa can come in, he can make an impact. The guy's Italian as well, by the way. So even if he doesn't have the best time at Chelsea within a year or two, we can still sell him back to Italy.
How much, bro? How much can you get for Chiesa realistically? Like that's really like. So look, at the end of the day, we're trying to
Prime. Before you guys keep going, this is the price, right? That's
for Chiesa. Yeah. That's why I mentioned it. That's cheap, and then you sell him back to Italy in a year or two for like what, 30 mil?
They don't know about Baena though, Lucas Costa. They don't know about Baena though.
Yeah, we wouldn't like. For me, I watch soccer, but I'm mostly some Bundesliga games, some Spanish league games, Italian games, and mostly Premier League. But if we're just looking at Chiesa for like 15 mil, like I understand he might be a stopgap, really. But my question then will be, how often are we going to be able to see the guy play?
Yeah, but okay, I hear that. Joey,
you know what I mean?
No, that makes sense. Joey, before you came on, Joey mentioned, or someone in the chat mentioned, Pedro Neto.
Okay.
And he is, if we're talking about Chiesa being injury prone, Pedro Neto is extremely injury prone.
Yeah, but I said I wouldn't want him either.
Oh, okay. You said that. My bad.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't want.
He did say.
Just because for me, like even when Somerville's one is the type of winger for me that like can make something happen, right? You want your wingers to be able to just take on their man and create chances for me. Like typically, even you look at someone like Anoni Madueke, I know a lot of people give him smoke, but if we're just talking about wingers that can take on their man and create space for others, like that's something I can get on board with, right? When you look at the options given, for me, I'll go with Somerville only because, like, as much as Pedro Neto is like a very good player, but he's always injured, and people say the best ability is availability, right? Yes. That's what people say. Me personally, I believe the best ability is ability. If you can ball, you can ball. But what I want to have someone in who, again, if you sign someone like Neto, how much are you going to pay this guy on a weekly basis? And then how many games are you actually going to get out of someone like that? Hell, we already have a lot of players who are just injury prone. Adding more just doesn't really seem productive for me. And if we're trying to get back into the Champions League, because it's been 3 years now. We ain't been in Europe for a while, so if you can put all the, if you can put the Chiesa money into someone like an Osimhen for me, get me an Ivan Toney, go throw some money on like an Ollie Watkins for me. I need somebody who's going to guarantee me goals. That's something we really needed last year. We didn't really have problems scoring goals, but we still needed in certain games, we needed someone who was a killer. 1 chance, 1 goal, 3 points. Or you get in 1 point out of the situations where you're losing all 3. So Chiesa, Neto, these ain't the guys I'll be looking for personally, because I think even on the left, we kind of are covered with Palmer and Noni. Just get me a goal scorer. That's my thing.
I'm going to be honest here on this Chiesa situation. I agree with you. By the way, I agree with you. I've been wanting a striker that's like a finisher for a while now. Like that part. Let's separate that part though for a while. Let's assume that we get that player. Okay.
Okay.
Let's just make that assumption. Okay. So, I'm gonna pull up some stats of 3 players.
All right.
Just so you guys can just kind of see like where my mind is and what I kind of need from my player, the player that we get next. Here is a scouting report for. Oh, I'm going to bring up Jack Clark next, by the way, because I just see this name here. I'm going to bring up Jack Clark next. Okay. So this is Somerville. This is his per 90 numbers. And this is the type of shit that I want to see coming from the left wing.
Exactly.
Okay. Like progressive carries, successful take-ons. These are the types of things that I want to see. Touches in the attacking penalty area. He's very quick. Actually decent defender. It seems like decent at getting back and defending. It seems like as well. The assist is kind of low. Expected assist though to goals is well. So like the stats prove that this guy is pretty good. The other name that I bring up is Bakayoko. Yet this Bakayoko does play in a different league, so I understand that we got different numbers here, and I would love to put Bakayoko's numbers up against like Anthony's numbers in PS at IX to see what it would look like. But you're seeing a guy who has the dribbling capabilities that you need to be successful as well. Let me pull up that Jack Clark because I do want to see. I don't know about this guy.
Plays off the left, right?
Correct.
Bakayoko to basically occupy the same space as your Cole Palmer's and Noni. So for me,
as Nani, correct.
So for me, that's not really a position we kind of need to strengthen. And I watched him
but from what they're telling us, Cole Palmer's going to be playing inside.
Yeah, and Angelo's going back on loan. That's why I mentioned Chiesa, because he can play left and right. And it looks like Sterling is staying. Mudryk.
Well, fucking goddamn.
So that's why I mentioned Chiesa. Somerville, again, I haven't watched much of him, so I don't really have.
Still, goddamn.
But Somerville plays off the left mostly.
But then, so if Palmer plays centrally.
Yo, who told me Jack Clark in the chat?
If Palmer plays centrally and you have Nkunku playing centrally, then what happens to your Caicedos, your Enzos, your Drewsby Halls, your Lavias? Like, it's just Bakayoko for me. Does it really move the needle between him and Noni? My question, that will be the question. If he's better than Noni, sure. But if he's not any better, then I wouldn't even want the guy anyway.
Who knows though?
He's honestly, going to cost.
I honestly like I do feel you on the whole like right winger situation. Like we don't need a right winger. Like I feel you there.
Yeah.
I don't think that we do need a right winger, but I just can't tell you a left winger option that's actually.
I do think we need a right winger more than a left, just based on the fact of Angelo's going back on loan. Cole Palmer will be used centrally.
I wish
the only right winger we'll have is Madueke, unless you view Sterling as a right winger.
Yeah, I was about to say you could just play Sterling on the right.
I know. Yeah, but that's my thing. We've only seen at least it's been 2 games, but we've only seen Sterling off the left. I'm just going based off what we've seen. We know Angelo's going to leave. Maresca wants like a left-footed player.
But you know the weird thing about those reports is like them saying that Palmer is going to play in the inside while it was Enzo Maresca to first play Palmer on the wing himself. Like Just doesn't make sense to me. Like
I
Enzo was the person who made Palmer a winger to begin with.
right.
So like, why would he move him back inside after he moved him the winger in the first place?
I mean, Palmer's good enough to play either centrally or out wide. But if you just looked at like his productivity and like a lot of the goals he scored last year, they were mainly central. You barely saw him like really cutting in off the left and like actually scoring. So most of his goals were more centrally. But in this team, like if you're looking at just the midfielders we have, if you're going to try to play that whole box midfield that it's looking like.
Let me ask you something. Would you guys be mad if we didn't get a winger and we just played Jackson on the wing?
I wouldn't be mad at all, to be honest with you. Like I would not be mad because Jackson would do a job.
Again, Joey, like I assume that's what it would be. I assume it'd be either Victor or we get a winger. Either way, Jackson would still be in the team in some shape or form. So
that's how I feel too.
I want to see Jackson and Victor link up. I want to see what they do in a game. So I think that would be cool.
I'll take Jackson on the wings just because for me, I think our biggest
Let
issue.
me build it. Let me build it real quick. I just want to see it. One second. What's the one that people use that have the names already?
Oh, I'm not sure. I usually use this was it like the lineup 11, but then I just started using that on the iPhone. So
do they have the names already? No.
Nah, you got to put that in.
I'll just use fucking FIFA shit.
And look, Rodrigo's like a dream, but he's definitely not leaving. And Madrid is going to, I mean, the prize are going to quote you for Rodrigo. But then again, that would be someone perfect to play off the left.
We would have to do it in the lineup shit.
We can't really get Rodrigo. That's just, yeah.
Hey, we've got Jackson at home, man. It's fine.
Nah. Listen, I'll trade Jackson for Rodrigo ASAP. I love Jackson. But come on, bro. That's like productivity coming straight from Rodrigo. Yeah, I'll take that all day. I definitely will take that all day. There we go.
Might as well just get them in the positions that they're actually in while we play up. Okay. I guess it's gonna be Cucurella here.
You know what? I was just about to say the same because for me, Colwell is as much as I like Colwell, just in this team, he just struggles to defend out wide for me. He gets in way too many times. I can't keep seeing that.
Let's just put Lavia here for lack of putting. Let's not even just talk about Enzo. And then this is pissing me off. Okay, better.
I'll go Sterling on that side, man. Just throw Sterling over there.
Nah, put in Palmer here.
Oh, you know what? My bad. I completely forgot Cole was going to be playing over there.
And then this is the odd man.
So that's either.
So you're telling me, here's the thing, right? Here's my thing. You're telling me that Jackson and Nkunku can't fill this role?
They can. Matter of fact, I'll probably play Nkunku ahead of Jackson in that role. Nkunku starts.
You're telling me that this can't be our team with Jackson here as well. So let's just say Nkunku's the starter in this case. Then you have Jackson. Gio, if he stays. I think he stays, to be honest.
I don't
I
know.
think Enzo said he's going to stay.
You know, sometimes they say this, and then once the season starts, they just send him out on loan. But he's someone that should stay.
I
See,
mean,
my only
listen,
problem with this is I wouldn't play Reese over there because I'll just play Enzo in that position.
I think whether Gooey or Goo, how do I say his name?
Gio.
Goo. I think whether he stays or not, again, it goes back on the Victor situation. If he comes in, then it makes sense that he just goes out on loan or something.
So you guys think in the chat saying we should swap it?
What do they want swapped out for? Cole for what?
No, they want it to be like this. You know something?
You know what?
You want to know something? I'm gonna pull a prime here. What if it's this?
No.
Wait, pull up prime? No, that's not what I would do. Is the three would be Reese, Tossin, and Kukurea, and I play Caicedo as the inverted right back with Lavia. I know that's a little crazy, but it's like what I would do.
I mean, worst case scenario, you could just.
That's a good point.
KDH can.
Coach said, Lucas, do you think Nkuku could play there though? Because I feel like it's gonna be Nkuku there with KDH in the midfield. I don't think Nkuku doesn't make the 11. I just don't believe that he's too good of a player for him not to make the 11.
Really, he's really the best left winger we have at this club.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, all right, say it's not Jackson, and that's fine. All right, let's just say it's not Jackson. Let's just say it's this as the options in the end, like that. Like these are the options. I mean, Nkuku could play anywhere. That's the nice thing. Is he's at any point you need him to play midfield, you need him to play winger, you need him to play striker, wherever you want to play him, you can have him play there. I feel like.
See now,
that's the thing. That's the thing, man. I find it extremely hard to believe someone is technically gifted and is mentally football like with the football IQ that Christopher Nkuku has. I find it very hard to believe that Christopher Nkuku can't play on the flank. Bro, I disagree. I think he's probably one of our best one-on-one dribblers that we have.
Most definitely.
I think he's one. I personally, and I hate that he got injured last year. I hate it because we did not get to see probably one of the best players that we actually have on the team play. And that's just the fucking truth.
I mean, when he played for Leipzig,
that's the truth, bro.
He played off the left anyway. So whenever I've heard people say
it was more an inside forward though when
he still played on the left.
This is not like a wing. Right? This is more of a true winger in the end that he would be playing as.
So he's not a slouch. He's still quicker. He's still creative. Can still beat a man and can still finish. So for me, if you play in the left attacking space,
and if we put it in a perspective, though, right? Let's just put it in this perspective of we're playing a style of play that City played, right? I find it hard to believe that he can't be like a Bernardo Silva style player for Maresca, where Bernardo Silva sometimes played in the midfield, sometimes he played in the wing, sometimes you know what I'm saying? He was just his utility that he always played. And I'm not saying that he always has to play on the wing, because there's going to be certain situations where I believe that a winger that has, bro, I just think that this kid is so talented and so gifted. It doesn't really matter where you put him. In the end, he's going to be effective.
I think he should be one of the first names on that team sheet.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind, bro.
He
There's
really
no doubt
should.
in my mind.
And that's why for me, I'm not really. I understand they want to get like a left-sided winger, but for me, if you have someone like an Nkunku, but if you had to choose between that and getting like a Victor Osimhen, I'm getting it forward, because
if you got Victor with Nkunku and Palmer trying to create off of him, it's going to be really freaking dangerous.
Definitely,
it's going to be seriously dangerous, bro. Like, I just like I find it hard to believe. Yeah, and I once again, it's not necessarily that how like pace in this system is almost unnecessary. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Pace in this system, outside maybe at the striker role, is almost unnecessary. Unless you can take that pace and create off of it, it's unnecessary.
Well, here's my thing, though. If you're trying to have your wingers to isolate their defenders and then beat them, then arguably you do want players who can actually take on people. Like if you're a slow winger and you take on people, like someone said in the chat, Silva is not the quickest, but he's so technical, you can't get the ball off of him.
Bro,
you know, we don't
I need you to jump in and jump out real quick. Your mic's going a little crazy.
All right, let me see. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with this, right? I do agree with this. Is like I don't think Nkunku's all about just blindside runs, link up, and finishing. I think he has the capability of being able to dribble past the man. Like I really do. I think he has the capability of being able to do that.
Is it better?
He has it sounds better.
All right, cool.
And then and Lucas Costa, me and you have the same feeling about all of this. Like I've been saying this. I watch Rance and Rance and Lee.
Mm-hmm.
They talk I like to watch them talk football, because they always bring it back to how football used to be back in the day, and it's like the enjoyment of the game is not the same. Like pace and power, like now everybody's either pace and power or you're like playing a system. Like and like the enjoyment and the freedom of the game is gone. The freedom of football is gone. That's what made the game just fantastic. Was freedom.
But then when you have like Pep Guardiola,
I know it's dead now. I get it. You don't got to tell me that.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola killed it. I get it. You don't have to tell me that. I understand.
You can't
Pep Guardiola
really
killed it.
But
you see that you can see that in tournament play that freedom wins football games.
Yeah, like for Spain, absolutely,
definitely.
And you know what it is too. I think like when it comes to some of these guys who you look at like a Phil Foden, and this is not even to go off tangent. Like when he plays for Man City, he still plays in this structure.
Phil Foden's not better than Christopher Nkunku at anything. I'm going to be honest with you. At anything. There's not one thing that Phil Foden's better than Nkunku at. Not one thing. I'm going to be honest with you. There's not one thing that Phil Foden's better than Nkunku at. Not one.
Just fitness.
Fitness. There we go. I'll give you that.
To be honest.
I'll give you that. I'm willing to put a stamp on that. There's not one thing Phil Foden's better than Nkunku at outside of fitness. Not one thing.
I like both players, and I feel like they are like two different profile of players, right? Nkunku is more of like if you gave him the chance to really take on his man, like he'll beat his man for fun. Foden is more essentially create damage and like score. And Nkunku can score as well. But I just think like, yeah, they both get goals at the end of the day, right? They both get goals and they're both creative players. So
I'm talking about this is what it is, right? Yeah, more in keeper to pass. Yeah, that's another thing. That's a whole nother. That if you want me, if you guys want me to go on a pep tangent, we can go on a pep tangent another time. But this is what it is right here. I'm talking about just footballing ability.
yeah,
Okay, we have two players that are better than Foden. Just footballing ability. Palmer's better, and then Nkunku's better on just footballing ability.
Yeah.
Okay. And I watch Phil Foden. You guys can try to come at me. Phil Foden's fantastic. Okay, he's fantastic. But if we're just talking about footballing ability, Palmer and Nkunku are better footballers.
See, I would agree. I would agree with you, but I don't think most people are ready for the conversation because, say, like if you talk about someone like a Cole Palmer, it always is he doesn't have the body of work. That's always a rebuttal. But he's one of those guys who is very unpredictable. He can score, he's creative, and he's just a joy to watch. Foden is just as equally nice and aesthetically pleasing, but Palmer just has like that X factor. Like in the Euros, he comes in, the ball to Watkins. He played that ball. Now, here's my thing. Foden can play that ball as well, but he just didn't do it. That's what separates.
I'm telling you, son. I'm telling you. I don't think I'm just pure footballing ability.
Yeah, like, I would agree with you.
It's not really not close, like in my opinion, when it comes to Palmer and Foden. I don't think it's that close. Like, and there has to be when you take risk out of football, it does not become football as much. And I worry that this team that we're going to be playing with, the way that we're going to be playing with, I know that that's going to be the case. When you but when you have players who take risks, that's when the brilliance of football comes alive. And when you have a team that plays to reduce risk, that's when it turns into the blandness that has been become in recent terms.
Bro, I think that's the difference between like Palmer and Foden and even Nkunku. Like on ability, I mean, we can debate it and stuff, but I think they're roughly around the same level. But what makes them stand out is with Palmer, he has the confidence, the arrogance to do things that Foden should be doing. Foden plays it way too safe. And maybe that's because he's being nurtured in Pep's system. But what Palmer did, having the confidence to leave at that young age, because he would have got minutes last season at City, having the confidence to leave, go to Chelsea, as bad as we've been, and yet every game he's stepping up, he's constantly performing, going away to England, being on the bench, not getting much minutes, but the little game time you do get, you're still confident enough, arrogant enough to think, I'm the best player on the pitch. I
don't like to use the word confidence because confidence almost feels like it's more of like a mental thing. In my opinion, he's arrogant. Arrogance is the correct word.
No, but that's why I said confidence and arrogance. I think it's a mix.
Yes.
I think you need both.
Okay, that's fair.
The ball, you mentioned, because what was mentioned, the ball to Watkins. Foden could play that ball in his sleep. That's not like a difficult ball to play. But
that's why I didn't want to use the word confidence, EPO. That's exactly why.
In that pressure situation, you need the arrogance to say, all right, fuck it.
I can do this.
Down. I'm just going to play it anyway. I'm just going to play it.
I'm gonna take a shot on goal because why not? Well, because there's a couple minutes left in this game against Manchester United. I have the ball in an area where I can shoot it, and if I might get a deflection or something like that, something might happen. Sure as shit.
Exactly. Like that goal
happen,
against
you know what I'm
United,
saying?
the last goal against United, the 4-3.
Yep.
What if Palmer missed that and it went, or it's saved and it goes wide? Like, but you need the arrogance to say, you know, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. It's going to
Exactly.
come off. Not
And this is the reason why I think Palmer. This is the reason why I don't think Palmer will
Let me just say
suffer.
this about Palmer. I'm going to say this about Palmer. Palmer doesn't think it might go in. Palmer knows it's going in. Palmer knows it's going to come off. That's why he does it on such a regular basis. Even if this one doesn't come off, the next one will. I'm going to get the next goal. I'm going to get the next assist.
And that's how I feel about Christopher as well, to be honest.
You know, Palmer reminds me of like
you just haven't got to see it in a Chelsea jersey yet. That's the thing. You haven't seen it enough in a Chelsea jersey.
You know, when
you
you
got to see it yet, just because of injuries.
Here's
the thing. Here's the thing, though. With
Palmer reminds me of
Palmer in this system is going to have the ball a lot if he plays on the wing. That's the thing with me is I think that you play him in this system, he's going to have the ball a ton. Okay. And to me, this is how you get the most out of him if you play him on the wing, because he's going to have one-on-one scenarios. Like him having one-on-one scenarios and like not getting double teamed. And if he does get double teamed, it opens up everything, really. Like that's the thing is if he gets double teamed, it opens up everything from around the pitch. And if you have a guy like Victor in the box, then Palmer always has the option to just swing it in the end. And
there was this argument with Arsenal fans about like when people do the whole Palmer Saka comparison, they go Saka gets double teamed a lot. You see, Palmer's intelligent enough to be able to get out of it, skillful enough to be able to get out of it. So when you just have to rely, like Saka, when you rely on pace and power, eventually you don't have the ability to solve those problems. Palmer's not the quickest, but just he's smart enough to know I can drop a shoulder, come inside, come in field, evade the whole press. So even if you want to double team someone like this, it's going to be a problem because you're going one way, he's dragging you another way. Just look at when we played United, how he had Dalot going in and out, just with one skill. That's how intelligent he is. So like you said, with him on the wings, he has, the freedom to come in centrally, even if, Caicedo has to go out wide just to let Palmer cook centrally. I think these guys are intelligent enough to be able to just just exist in the same space because, these guys are smart. Caicedo's a smart guy. Like just on.
I'd like to see Caicedo up in this area, in my opinion. Just his box to box presence, just being able to get back and cover the midfield space. When I watch Carney let a midfielder run right by him and run right into the box, into this area right here, he literally had the defensive midfielder from Celtic ran from this area and Carney followed him, and then just stopped. And then watched this midfielder run right here and then pass the ball this way. And Fofana was like, what the fuck's going on? And then mark his man, and that was a goal.
Can we talk about Caicedo? Because the way rival fans,
you can use
maybe Arsenal fans in particular, treat Caicedo as if the guy's just like pace and power, and like they treat him like he's second
This
Rice.
Kid is so good, bro. He's so good.
People treat Caicedo.
He's not even
second Rice,
bro. We're talking about players that are like 3 years, 4 years, and different in age. Like I want people to make sure you understand.
I like Declan Rice. I actually like him, but he's not on a technical level. He's not a Rodri. He's not a Caicedo. He's nowhere near. He's just pace and power, which is what Rice is. Just pace and power. Caicedo's a different animal.
Oh. Once Caicedo got a little bit of
he got in his groove
to what was going on in the team, like it wasn't even like a confidence thing. It was just like he just needed to get
everything clicked,
accustomed to everybody. Yep,
everything just clicked.
You saw it with him. Everything was really good, like timing at tackles, where distribution of the ball, even in solo positions when he had nobody next to him, he was capable of getting out of pressing situations. There was a few times where they actually got balls fizzed into him where it wasn't his fault, and like Sanchez or Disasi would throw the ball into him, he would be like man marked from behind him, and then people would blame Caicedo, but it's really like the person who's passing him the ball's fault. Like on a good amount of the times that he's lost possession and stuff. Dude, he's easily one of the best DMs in world football at this current moment, and we're lucky to have him. I'm going to be honest with you. We are lucky to have this kid. We are very lucky to have this kid.
I'm so happy that when Liverpool fumbled, I mean, not even they fumbled it, because I just think he just decided I want to go to Chelsea, right? And it beats all that narrative about, well, they're going for the money. They're going for the money. I mean, this guy, when he came in with no preseason, I think it was more a lack of fitness. You know, you just can't.
300. 300. I'm sorry. This is like one of my regulars. 300. You're this right here. The tickets for the Club America game where I went, I bought them through the CFC membership, and it was $50 to buy them through the CFC membership. And you have to buy the member. I don't know if the membership's still available, but you have to. If you buy the membership, the tickets are $50. So just keep a look. You might be too late, but that's how I bought mine when I went to the Club America game out in Vegas. But continue, my brother. I apologize.
No, you good. I'm just saying, like, I think it was just more a lack of fitness, and I think just a team spending that much money on you. You know, he just lacked that sharpness, and he did take a while to kind of get into his groove. But
he didn't have a preseason either. So.
He didn't have a preseason, so he was kind of rusty. You know, he lacked that just match fitness. And I don't think people realize, like, even getting someone's jersey, like a Frank Zola's number. I don't know if people don't understand. That could play like a psychological thing on your mind. This is a club legend, right? But we're not even going to go on jersey numbers. It's just he just hadn't had enough time to kind of like understand where he was. When you move from Brighton to a club like Chelsea, you could kind of be starstruck a bit. But I'm so happy that we got him because, some of the first-time balls over the top, like his assist, I think, to Cole Palmer, was it against West Ham? Line breaking.
Bro, if we had, like, the players, with the midfielders that we had, like this midfield right here, obviously Enzo will be a part of it. But with this midfield right here, and you have Victor up top, the through ball, like, in right to Victor is going to be there almost every time. It's good. The through ball or the over the top ball to Victor is going to be there almost every time.
Definitely.
Especially if a team thinks that they can press us. Like, Victor itself will kill him. Like, Victor himself will kill him on the break. Like, between Palmer and Cuckoo or whoever the hell we play on the wings, if it's pace, we'll probably play Sterling.
And I think
bring Caicedo down.
This is why they kind of let Poch go.
No, Gremlin never showed up, Logic. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, bro? Who would have thought? Wait, I'm sorry, bro, but this needs to be, bro. You were there. You were there too. You were right there with him. You were trying to message me to get on my show.
Yeah.
Gremlin was right there, bro. Where's Gremlin at, bro? 2 streams in a row. He just sitting there trying to call me out. I invite him to the stream. Say, come on stream. All you got to do is message me on Twitter. You messaged me on Twitter, homie. You got on, right? Was easy peasy lemon squeezy, right?
For sure.
So I don't see why this guy hasn't shown up. Logic, I don't know why he didn't show up. I apologize, bro. I would more than happily debate this guy, cook him to the moon. But where is the guy? He is nowhere to be found. Hey, that's the life we live here at Football YouTube. I'll more than happily cook anybody that wants to be cooked. If you want to come on here and argue with me, like that Manchester United fan that came on here last week. He asked to come on here. He asked to have a conversation. He said, I'm going to argue with you. First word said, I'm going to argue with you. And by the end, he got cooked. Gremlin's Nacho Leavy's burner account. That's a good one. I think it's one of Darko's homies, if you want my honest opinion, but that's just me. Anyways.
I think there's too much negativity around this club. Like, even just watching, like, because I did a reaction video I think about like Never a Foul when they had, when they were just cooking us for losing to Celtic. In my head,
Oh yeah, me. I was on that fucking stream,
dude, and I was like, I get it.
I got to hold the heat for Ches and Don.
Yeah,
thanks, Don.
But you know what it is, bro? I think a lot of like these guys when they go on these channels, I think they just forget what they want to talk about because you have to be able to represent. There's no reason I'll sit there and have someone try to cook Fofana who's been out a whole year and playing his first few minutes. Like there's just no way you honestly just go, yeah, he's a scrub. Now you can give all the smoke to Badiashile because again, he's been making these mistakes over a long period of time since last year. But someone like a Fofana, someone like a Tosin,
I'm ending this stream here shortly, boys.
Bro, did you mention your channel?
No, I didn't.
No, sorry, you mentioned your channel, right?
Yeah, I have a channel, yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is it. So people subscribe to it.
Yeah, subscribe to the homie.
I just posted it in the chat.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Subscribe to the homie.
He's on 44 subs, so like there's no reason why he can't get to at least 50.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of new people that he's never seen before. Let's get him to like 50 or 60 subs right now. We got 30 people in here. We can do that.
Nah, because for me,
and I like this. I like you, homie. You're gonna be coming on here more.
Listen,
now you got to meet you.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Hey, you around this? This is around the time I do every single day. Every time I'm on.
Bro, you live in New York. I live in Jersey.
No, I don't live in New York no more. I moved to Arizona. Fuck the snow.
So what?
I live in Arizona.
So what's the time difference right now?
3 hours.
Are you ahead or behind me?
Behind, because it's about 6 o'clock right now for me.
All right, yeah, that's fine still. Just whenever you're about to go live, just shoot me the link. I'll come on.
For sure. If I had the ability to send all you guys over to A-listers, I would. But I'm gonna end this here. We've been going for about an hour 30. I'm gonna make a group with everybody that I send the link to here in a bit.
All right.
On Twitter, I'll make a group that I send the link to, and anybody else who wants to come on.
Should I just add him to? I can just add him to Jimmy's group chat.
I mean, if I don't know if Jimmy wants to, leave me out of it.
Okay.
Leave me out of it. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Solomon, you got it, brother. I'm just gonna make one, Prime. Don't worry about it. I'll just make one.
All right,
it's just gonna be easier for me.
Come on, listen, we could.
Yeah, it'll just be. It's just gonna be for me to send the link to you guys because like it's starting to get to a point where like I have too many outsiders from like other places that I'm starting to meet people.
Yeah.
So I just want like everybody to just be in one place because I just took me like a good 5 minutes to send the link to everybody that I wanted to send the link to. So I'm just going to make a group. Solomon, I'll add you to the group. Everybody, I appreciate it. We're just going to do the welcome video one more time for the fuck of it because I love this fucking video. Welcome. And adios, everyone. Have a good day.
Peace.